Hi, this is Dave from Revocation, and I'm blowing it up with the Mighty Z on Capital Chaos TV.
This is Todd Owens with Capital Chaos TV, and we're here at the Oakland Metro tonight with David from Revocation. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing great, thanks.
All right, so you guys are on this little jaunt across the U.S. with Cannabis Corpse, I think, for about 23 dates, and then how's the tour so far? You've been out for about a week or so, or?
Yeah, we've been out for about 2 weeks now. We're a little over halfway done with the tour, and it's been going really great. Yeah, it's been really excellent.
Any standout cities or shows yet along the way, or?
Last night was really great. We played L.A., bunch of people there, this small club called the Mystery Box. New York City was amazing. Full Terror Assault Fest was cool. That was with like Obituary headline that.
I used to live in Albuquerque, so I always ask about Albuquerque. Remember anything? Launchpad.
Yeah, we played the Launchpad a few days ago. That was a fun show.
Some ragers down there.
Yep.
All right, so I guess I'll start at the beginning with you because you're the original guy with the band. It's kind of your thing or whatever. And then way back when, before Revocation, you had another band, Cryptic Warning, I guess, right?
Yep.
So I didn't want to ask too much about that, but just you made after about 6 years with that band, you guys changed the name, and you and the other guys that were original. So was it more of a musical change or a style change, or what kind of caused you to go from that to changing the name to Revocation and then like starting fresh?
We were just all young kids when that band started, and I think it was just sort of time for an updated all around vibe. The music changed. We wanted to go in a different direction in terms of even just our name. We felt like we kind of outgrew it a little bit. So it was just sort of in high school kind of band, and we figured, okay, well, that was one chapter in our lives. Let's close that chapter and start fresh with this new chapter.
So everything was new style. Everything kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
if you listen to old Cryptic Warning with musically, you'd see any similarities, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was like kind of more old school thrash, I guess you'd say. I mean, there was still kind of some little flirtations with some progressive elements and stuff like that, but we just felt that the music that we were writing at that period was leaps and bounds just better, more better composed, better in terms of technically executed. So we just felt that let's put that to bed and we'll start fresh.
Maybe some of your early influences when you were growing up, high school, or when you were getting started in music, bands, or anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, for metal, like Pantera was a big one. They were sort of my gateway drug that opened up all these different subgenres and stuff like that to me. Martyr from Canada, they were a big one that I was obsessed with when I was younger. Gorguts, Ex-Hoarder, those were all very influential on me, as well as bands like Cannibal Corpse, and even I remember hearing In Flames for the first time and being like, whoa, you can be super melodic in death metal. So there was all these different bands that all played a part into how we sound today, I think.
Any newer bands or whatever that maybe have caught your eye, or more contemporary, I guess?
Yeah, I like this band called Yautja a lot. They're a grind band. I think they're from...
Where are they from?
They're from Tennessee, I think, somewhere in the South. They're super sick. I really like this band called Thanafaxith a lot. They're a black metal band from Toronto. Really, really awesome band. What else? There's so many bands out there. But yeah, those are two sort of newer bands that I'm really digging.
All right, so I guess, like you said, you're about halfway through this tour. I think you got a few maybe solo dates at the end without Cannabis Corpse as you're heading back east.
Blackfast and Archspire will still be on the tour. It's basically the only band that's dropping off is Cannabis, because they have, I think Iron Reagan is starting up a tour right around that time, and Phil's got to get back to do.
Hard to be two places at once.
Exactly.
Then any other tour plans for the rest of the year, or next?
We're going to go to Colombia and do a fest down there about a week after this tour ends. And after that, it's basically just going to be writing.
Okay. Yeah, that would be my next question. You guys have been pretty prolific over the last, 7 years or something. You put out 5 releases, I believe. So nothing written yet, but you'll be starting writing soon, I guess.
Yeah, we have some ideas and some songs that we're kicking around right now. So we've got a bunch of ideas, but I'm looking forward to having that fall, early winter time to just fully focus on the next record rather than kind of start and stop, going back and forth on tours. You know, to really be at home in my own mental headspace and take the time to arrange everything. But yeah, I'm really stoked on how everything's sounding so far. Just, you know, in my head it sounds good, so that's always a good start.
And you guys were with Relapse for a while, and I think Metal Blade was the last one. So are you still with Metal Blade, or is it shopping it around, or?
Yeah, we got another record on Metal Blade, so we're looking forward to work.
Good relation with them?
Yeah, it's been great. I think they did a really great job with, you know, putting Deathless out. Got great worldwide praise across the board, it seems. So yeah, we're really stoked to see what they'll do with the next one.
All right, and home for you, or you guys is Boston, is that correct, right?
Yeah, we're kind of all fragmented right now. I live in Boston, Dan lives in Long Island, Brett lives in Jersey, and our new drummer Ash is from Vancouver. So
I was going to say you were going all the Northeast corridor then, but then Vancouver goes way to the other side.
We had to throw a curveball in there.
So you said you're in Boston then? Yeah. What's the scene like in Boston nowadays? Or in the East Coast in general?
The scene in Boston is still really strong. I mean, I remember growing up and it just being, you know, so great with all these different basement shows, and there was a few different clubs that were a nice, you know, medium to smaller size for local shows. So even if, you know, it was a bunch of local bands getting together, you know, an 80-cap room, you know, fills out pretty nice and really feels like there's some people in there. So it was a good bunch of you know, venues that cater to metal. Sometimes it's hard in certain cities where the only venues are like, you know, mega huge venues or like 500-cap rooms. You know, it's hard to really cultivate a vibe when, you know, you're trying to do a show, like a local show on like a Friday night. You know, 100 people in a 1,000-cap room doesn't look so great, but if you can cram 100 people into a 100-cap room, it's awesome. So I think that plays a big role in having multiple venues to choose from. And again, like I said, there's a lot of DIY venues too. There was punk rock basement shows, there was, you know, abandoned warehouses and stuff like that people would do shows and that we would play or I would go see. There was sort of like this crossbreeding between the metal scene and the hardcore punk scene, and sometimes we'd be on like a hardcore punk show and you meet friends that way, and you also kind of, you know, connect to the more underground music scene as a whole that way. So it was definitely thriving for a while. Since then, there's been some venues have been shut down by cops and stuff like that, but it's almost like a hydra. You know, you cut off one head and then two more grow in its place, so you can't stop the underground.
Another oddball question, but are you or is anybody in your band vegetarian or vegan?
No one's vegetarian or vegan in the band, but we try when we can to eat vegetarian, vegan. You know, it's definitely a healthy way to be. But I mean, I went to a sausage place today and they had vegan sausage, and I was like, I'll go with the pork sausage, Rosamund's or something like that. Yeah, it was super sick.
I was gonna ask. Sometimes I like to ask about eating on the road, life on the road, and there's a lot of McDonald's and Burger King, I take it.
We try not to eat fast food because, you know, generally it's
crap.
Yeah, it's not the best, you know, food to put in your system. But yeah, it's definitely not always easy when you're out on the road and stuff like that. So, you know, trying to eat healthy when you can. We try to eat like a lot of like Thai food and pho and Vietnamese stuff like that. I mean, today I ate an In-N-Out, but I consider In-N-Out like the upper echelon of.
A little better.
Yeah, exactly. So. But yeah, like I said,
see him cutting the fries in the back, right?
Right. It doesn't come from some kind of weird like laboratory or something like that. It's an actual potato, so that's good. But yeah, we try to eat. Yeah, sure. We try to eat healthy and vegetarian, and vegan, you know, when we can.
All right, you're a guitarist, so I always like to ask about gear. Any gear you want to talk about or rave about or complain about?
I play EVH amps. I love those things. We use them live and in the studio. As far as guitars go, I'm with Jackson, and I'm really loving this new Jackson Warrior that they sent me. I've had it for about a year now, but it's Swamp Ash with black stain. It's super sexy looking, and it just sounds awesome. I'm working with DiMarzio pickups as well. They made me some custom pickups just for that guitar. Which
have you been playing Jackson for a while?
Yeah, I've been with Jackson basically since when Revocation started. I mean, when I was first starting out, before I was endorsed by anyone, I was playing like BC Rich guitars and like the BC Rich Mockingbird that I eventually ended up selling. But yeah, Jacksons have been my go-to for quite a few years now.
Usually when I talk to guitarists that play Jackson, they're usually very attached to that brand. And
yeah, I mean, they're so iconic, a lot of the shapes, and I really like that Warrior shape. It's
metal sound.
Yeah, it looks really cool, but it also is really well balanced for an extreme shape. Like, it doesn't hang all weird, so it's awesome when you can have a guitar that looks cool, sounds great, and is versatile, and you know, won't be flopping around on you, and you can, stay stationary on stage.
Well, that's all I have for you. I want to say thanks for your time. Good luck with the rest of the tour. Anything else you want to add to people on Capital Chaos TV might be watching?
We got about 2 more weeks left on this tour, so if you're watching this and we're still on the road, come out to a show and come say what's up.